and welcome along, everybody, and welcome to this very special stream tonight. We're on the multiplayer server. We are going to be streaming with Kermit in a moment. He's just doing his introduction, which I can't listen to because he said. So I'm just going to say hello to everybody, and then I'm going to open up the Discord. So yeah. Oh, as soon as I can get it to work. There we go. Don't think you guys can hear that. That's fine. Oh, good. Hey, Pete Turner. Hey, Culchy. Hey, Eugene Creel. Hey, Robin Lindbergh. Hello, Richard Dower and Waylon Timlick. Welcome along. Hope you're all doing well.
Oh, now you can hear him.
Now I can hear. Yeah.
You're about to see his avatar on screen. Alex, how in the world is your hair like almost exactly like it is in the game? I want to know.
I don't know. There are many things through previous versions of Farm Sim can I hear you? Are you still there?
You should be able to hear me. I'm
good.
Here.
Yeah, I'm just turning my camera around so that everybody can see your wonderful face as well in game. Yeah, no, it's there are many things that I think Giants have built for me over time. One is the avatar in this game because it's almost perfect. I mean, people think it's uncanny how it looks like me. And then in FS19 they created start from scratch mode, which was exactly how I was playing the realism experiment at the end of FS17. So yeah, these little things keep happening.
So we've had two comments. First of all, on YouTube, Yoss said he has hair. And then on Twitch, Richard Dower says, wait, VF has hair? Of course, we always see you with your hat on, so sometimes we forget that. Yes, in fact, I've seen him without his hat on in person, and yes, indeed, his hair looks it's exactly what you see in front of you in the game right now.
Yeah.
Like, it is this. That's his hair. Same color, same style. At TwitchCon, I saw him without a hat on, and he was pushing it back like, model style.
Yeah, it is. I think the face is a little bit rounder than mine, but it's not far off. Not far off at all.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay, so we're on your server, and you can tell us all about that in a minute. But first and foremost, because I didn't take part this past weekend, I want to know how much fun you had doing the Cactus Leipzig FSL tournament.
Oh, God, it was one of the craziest FSL tournaments I've had the pleasure of commentating on. We didn't have a single, first, other than the final, not a single match went to more than 2 games.
Really?
So,
wow.
Every single match went 2 games through, but that does not mean that they weren't close. And we had so many close matches, and we had so many different tactics tried. And of course, the new rule came in that you could only pick a team perk once per match.
Right.
So it meant that lots of teams went bottleneck first game and then had to do a completely different strategy for their second game. And it just made everything really, really intense and really, really interesting with lots and lots of new tactics coming into play. And yeah,
I like the sound of that.
It was just brilliant. Oh yeah, it completely put the cat among the pigeons. Cat among the pigeons. Because yeah, everything went out the window, and we had no idea what tactic anybody was going to use beyond bottleneck. And it's opened up some really, really interesting stuff, and along the lines of, well, if one team picks this tactic, what's the best counter for it? And and there's almost this rock paper scissors thing going on now, where teams are leaving it to the very last moment to do their team tactic pick, trying to fake the other team out into making a mistake that they can then put something else against. And it was absolutely brilliant.
Well, let's move on to this now, present day, and we're on Ebony Island is the map. We're on your community server. So tell us a bit about like the server first and foremost. How long has it been running? What are you and your community doing on it on a normal basis, and what can we expect today?
So this is, so as you said, this is my community server. It's open to all my channel members, my patrons, my Twitch subs, and anybody who is an active member on my Discord. So anybody who reaches level 8 on my Discord by just chatting and talking and being a part of my community gets access to this as well. And we have a full set of farms on here. Each one has its own farm manager, and each farm manager can have people who come and work on their farm with them, or we get the odd person who comes on and goes, oh, I'd like to help out on one of the farms, and they can request to help out on a farm in the Discord, and more often than not, somebody is looking for, for some help. And all but one of the farms on here is active at the moment.
That's cool. Yeah. So people are asking, why are you not showing your face? Well, he is live on his YouTube channel right now. So if you want to go watch it from his perspective, please pull that up and do it. If you're not subscribed to him already, make sure you go do that. So all of your community streams are on YouTube for this server, correct? So because you do a lot of stuff on Twitch as well, but this specifically is YouTube content for you.
Yeah. So I stream 3 times 3 times a week on Twitch. On a Tuesday night, I am building my dad's map, my dad's farm as a map for Farming Simulator. So I'm learning how to do mapping on a Tuesday night. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I look forward to that.
It's a lot of fun. And my brother is a streamer on Twitch as well, called Reaver1979. And so he's watching me build the farm that we both grew up on and that we've both farmed on. And it's great just seeing his reaction as this whole thing is taking shape. So I'm loving that on a Tuesday night.
That's awesome, man.
Then that's really cool. Normally on a Wednesday night and a Sunday night, we do the realism experiment over on Twitch, which is my series where I just I add a load of extra rules to Farm Sim to make the whole thing more realistic. And then on a Saturday night, normally we do this and do the community multiplayer.
Well, yeah, so at first I thought, like, oh man, what have I gotten myself into? VF's gonna put me on the realism experiment. And it turns out it's the community multiplayer.
We did try a multiplayer realism experiment, and it works to an extent.
Right.
So, yeah.
This is something that I think maybe that we take for granted, but this may be the first time that some of your fans are seeing your avatar on a stream, because they're always watching the game from your perspective, and now they're getting to see your avatar. So we're having some comments about it. We have Rockin saying, "Ha, VF, your avatar looks splendid," in chat. So here you go, exclusive first look potentially at the virtual farmer avatar. He's just missing the VF branded logo on the polo. He's got the color right. And if he had a VF hat, we probably wouldn't be seeing his hair as well.
At some point, I am looking forward to FarmCon, because I've got to find out who it has got a bug to get some VF branded gear into the game.
You're not the only one, of course, that would hope for that.
I think there's several of us who want to try and put forward the idea of a creator's clothing pack for the game. I know DJ quite like that as well, I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of you guys would, of course. All right, so the community multiplayer streams, it's up to you to put me to work now, Alex. So what do you want me to do?
We've got 2 jobs to do today. We need to seed field 144 and 139 with Sorghum and get that rolled in. Then our unnamed grass field around the corner here. This needs to be cut, baled, and turned into silage bales.
Ooh, okay. All right.
But I know you were doing
like
silage
that.
bales with Twin Cab a couple of weeks ago, so we're gonna start with the seeding. So do you want to take the John Deere and the seeder, or do you want to grab the little the little Japanese tractor with the roller and follow behind?
You know what? You tell me what to do. I think I'd be cool with this John Deere,
okay,
if that's all right with you. But
yeah.
Feel free to tell me what to do.
Oh, no, I will jump in the little tractor. I'll probably have to go and grab you some more seed in a bit anyway. In fact, yeah, I'll go grab some more seed.
Okay. Cool.
Because we are. I think you've only got half a. I think you're only half full in that. So I think another bag of seed, another bag of fertilizer would be a good idea.
Yeah, I saw it briefly before the synchronization. It's definitely not all the way full. I didn't catch. Yeah, I'm at 58%.
Yeah, so I'll
that's fertilizer. 51% seed.
I'll take the Voltra and the flatbed then, and go and grab some more seed and some more fertilizer, and then hopefully you won't run out by the time I come back. So it's the two fields. So yeah, field 144 and 139. They've been merged into a single field.
144 and 139. I see. Okay. What's the best route to get there?
Round this way. So left out of the yard up here, and then a right all the way to the end.
It's just. DJ says just F12 it in, he won't notice.
Do you know what? This is a crossplay server, so there is no F12. It's not possible.
There you go. Oh man. All right, so you want me to go this way, you said?
Yeah, go that way. Take a left out of there.
Okay, left down here. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to like join you guys for these streams on a map that I've never played before. This is always the toughest part, is just finding my way around. Watch out, Kerm's driving, right? Tornado, right?
These should be wide enough to let you through. And then yeah, a right down there,
turn
all
right,
the way to the end.
Gotcha. Perfect.
And I'm just gonna run the other end of the map and grab a couple of big bags.
Fair enough. We're planting sorghum, right?
Yeah, planting sorghum. Ewan, Bally Spring is not coming to all platforms as far as I know. Yeah, Kermit is on YouTube. He's over on the Farming Simulator Community Corner channel. If you're going to go and check things out from his perspective.
Oh my god, it's Dave from G-Portal.
It's...
What's up, Dave?
Oh, over on Twitch. Hey, Dave from G-Portal. Guess what server this is running on? This is a G-Portal server. Use code VF Gaming for 10% off.
Just plant the roads. You guys are like here for chaos, and I love it. It's always interesting, like, to be able to do these multiplayer streams, and you know, switch it up with the spotlights, because it's nice to be able to play the game a little bit here and there too.
It's one of the things I love about the community multiplayer server is the fact that I am able to play with the community, and there are people who play on this map 7 days a week. So the way that my server works is that it's a 24/7 server.
Okay.
It is synced to real time, and it's synced to do 8 p.m. on a Saturday night is midday on the first day of the month.
Okay.
So we got 7-day months on here.
Right. Okay.
And
That's cool.
I see people coming on and playing all the way through the week, running their farms, you know, doing various bits of work on there. The only rule we have on the server is that people can't do contracts.
Okay.
And that's simply because somebody who has a huge amount of time and comes on the server all the time will be able to do a ton of contracts, get a ton of money, and be able to buy up half the map.
That makes sense. I think that's fair for how you want it to be played.
And yeah, there's some really interesting farms running on here. Some people have just created giant fields they farm, and some people have just, you know, just doing lots of little fields, which is fantastic.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I like I used to do a server like this with my community when I was streaming on my own before I got hired by Giants, where you just kind of keep it running and have people jump in and out. I think that's a really fun way to play the game. And unfortunately, that was like before seasonal cycles were a thing in the base game. So it must be pretty interesting now, because I know, like, when I play with my wife in multiplayer, we've put it on 3-day seasons before because one day just never seemed like enough. Because for a while we were playing where we wanted to do as many steps as the process as possible. I wouldn't necessarily call it like super realistic. We still had crop destruction off and things like that, but we had pretty much everything toggled on. I think maybe we turned stones off. Maybe we had that on. I don't remember. But it was about having smaller fields and trying to do, you know, the maximum rate for them to get the maximum yield. So we were rolling, we were mulching, and all of the steps required for that. And so it was quite fun to do that. So it must be pretty interesting to be able to have console players playing like this kind of style now, that they can have seasonal cycles in the game.
Well, it's one of the things that as soon as the possibility of a cross-play server was announced with FS22, immediately I said, right, the community server will absolutely be a cross-play server. I wanted to have as many people have access to it as possible.
Right.
And it is a little bit odd for me because there are certain script mods that I've come to rely on a lot. So quite often on the server, I will jump out of the tractor and go and try and manually attach stuff to the back. Because I am so used to the manual attach mod that it's just second nature at this point. And then I'll get on the server and I will go, oh no, I've got to connect that up in the tractor. I can't jump out and do that. But it's a good trade-off for having, you know, as many people have access to the server as we can. And the nice thing about running it 24/7 is that if people can't make a stream, or if they don't want to be doing it at the time of a stream, they can be on the server and they can run a farm, and you know, they're able to join in. And if they and it also means that the server is rarely absolutely packed during a stream as well. You know, it's a 16-player server, right? But we don't normally have more than maybe 5 or 6 on here at a given time.
Okay. So I'm confused why there's like 2 different textures as I'm planting on certain parts of this field.
That's a bug.
There you go.
That's a bug that came in with the last update to precision farming, I think.
Okay.
And it's to do with plowed fields. So that the top half of that field is plowed and is doing weird things with its textures. You'll notice the bottom field, as you seed it, and you go past the bit where the 2 fields are merged, the texture tends to just settle down and stay the same.
Yeah, it's weird. Like one whole pass just now went all the way, with like the this mulched texture, and then the rest of it is just like a seed bed texture. So definitely something that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, it all sorts out when you roll it. You know,
really?
The only time it seems to affect anything is when you're if you mulch and then plow is the specific instance of it.
Okay, gotcha.
I keep meaning to put it into the feedback tool and forgetting. In all honesty.
I could do headlands, but you know what? Where's the fun in that? I'm challenging myself instead. I don't like my stuff to be planted in 2 different directions. I have a problem with that for some reason.
Thefisherj
if it becomes too much of a problem, I'll cave in and I'll do it.
I want the headlands.
Yeah. I know people in chat, you guys hold me accountable.
Yeah, I go through cycles of headlands and not, depending on how much space I have at the end of the field normally.
So far, I've been able to get it without too much issue, so we'll see. See how it goes.
Park the seed trailer. Oh, up this end here. Oh, there we go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome on YouTube and Twitch, and everyone over in VF's chat on YouTube as well.
Hello, everybody.
So you were like one of the early. Go ahead, Alex.
Go on. No, I was just.
You were one of the early guests on the spotlight. I want to say you were the 3rd guest overall, and I'm not sure. Did we do that on like YouTube and Twitch for you? Because early on we did it more. Okay, now I agree with you, chat. We're gonna do a headland this direction because there's not as much space over here as there is on the other end. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember if there's a VOD of your spotlight or not.
Fairly sure we did it on YouTube. I'm not sure if we did it on Twitch.
I feel like it must be on the main YouTube channel then, because it would have been before we switched to doing them on the Community Corner channel. Like Red Dirt Ranch was our very first spotlight, and we only did his on Twitch since he's only a Twitch streamer. And at that time, I was basically doing it on the platform that the person did their content on. So there was even like 1 or 2 early days on Facebook. But yeah, so Jimmy's just doesn't exist anymore. Because the VODs at that time on our Twitch channel would only last for like a week until we got it verified. But like, I like having the archives on YouTube now. Format's changed a little bit, but yeah, that's been a while now. It's been like well over a year since we did your spotlight.
Must be. It's got to be closer to 2 years. It was mid-pandemic, wasn't it? I think.
You're probably right. Have I been doing them for that long? I guess I have. I don't. Because I joined. I'm guessing I did start them. You're right. Like right around the launch of 22 or so. You might be right about that. Okay. I'm giving chat what they wished for.
Headlands.
by doing the headlands. At least on that end. On this end.
You see, this is something that I always question. So I'm somebody who does the headlands last.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Because when we were farming, that was the way we did it. We always did headlands last. And I suddenly got a flurry of questions a year and a half ago why are you doing the headlands last? You should do the headlands first. And my response was always, but then you're driving all over where you've freshly seeded. You know, why would you do that? And then I found out that lots of farmers do. They just do their headlands first, and then they drive all over where they've seeded.
See, I was always under the impression that it was first, but then again, like, I never even thought, because it's a game, about the fact that you would be driving over them. But it's good to know that in real life, even they do it that way. So I think personal preference, I guess.
I think a lot of American farmers, from what I understand, drive all over, or drive, you know, over the headlands, do the headlands first. Was my understanding of it, and it's more general in the UK to do the headlands last. But I did get a couple of British farmers turning around and going, no, we do the headlands first. So it could also be a more modern seeding technique.
Right. Someone, Jay Gaming in Twitch, says, that's how we farmed when I was a kid. Headlands planted last and harvested first.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely how we did it. And how I do it on things like the realism experiment and things like that, I'll always plant the headlands last. And I'll leave about a tractor, a full length with the tractor putting the wheels to the edge. I'll give myself that much space to turn around.
Headlands first is like getting fingerprints on stainless steel, says Captain Zach. We have started a whole debate now. We always did the end rows last, says Terry on YouTube. It's interesting. I was actually having I was having a conversation recently about our game and about like real life farming, and this was with like a farm bureau here in the US. I was on their podcast called Dirt Road Discussions, and they were talking about Farming Simulator, and I don't remember if it's in the podcast or if it was like before or after we did the recording, but they were kind of intrigued by the game and like the fact that real life farmers play it, and they were like, so like real life farmers come in from like working the fields all day and still play your game, and like, yeah, indeed they do. And they were amazed by that. And one of the comments they had was like, you know, do you think there's benefit in people from like all parts of the world being able to see like agriculture done in the game? And I think that's kind of proof right there, is just like the discussion that we're having about headlands. Like what I tell people when they ask things like that is, yeah, like obviously agriculture exists like in every corner of the earth. Like we have to feed people everywhere, so farming exists pretty much everywhere there are people, but it looks different in one place to the next, you know, not necessarily even like country to country, but like in the US, for example, state to state, or smaller regional areas compared to others. I've been on farms now in Kansas and Nebraska, and those states border each other, but it looks completely different with how they're doing things, you know? So it's a thing that I love about my job, is being able to experience that, because my agriculture knowledge didn't start, like my experience with it and my joy of learning about it didn't start until I discovered Farming Simulator in 2016. You know, so, and now I'm obsessed with like learning as much as possible about it.
Yeah, and I'm the same. So a lot of my farming knowledge is based on English farming from you know, sort of 20 or nearly 25 years ago at this point. And so I enjoy watching farming videos, you know, and learning not only about farming here in the UK, but because I do American maps from time to time, I like learning about American farming as well. And you watch stuff and you get this huge variation in methods and techniques, and actually going to Horsh for FarmCon 18, that was a real life eye opener as well, because there was all this information there about how and all the actually stuff that's since coming in the game in precision farming, how the more you turn the earth, the worse it is for the environment and all that kind of thing, and then all the techniques that they were having for disturbing the earth less as you go into doing into working and planting crops and things. And so not only are the techniques different area to area, they're constantly evolving as well, and it's just a really interesting thing to follow.
It is. And like as technology like grows, that changes a lot of it too. And I know there's like some features that exist now because of technology that didn't exist even like 5-10 years ago. And so of course, like one of the biggest things that we're asked to add into the base game, and I would love to see it one day, is, you know, some sort of GPS, because that's become such a huge part of real life agriculture. And of course we have the mod, which is awesome. That's the great thing about our user created content. But not everyone is able to experience that, as we see here on your crossplay server. You know, you've kind of had to leave those out so that a wider variety of people could play. But it's going to be interesting to see, like, as the technology in real life agriculture grows, like how it can help us within the game and change too. So hopefully we can start to, you know, replicate some of that stuff within the game, make it possible in the base game. But there's always the amazing mod community too to put a lot of that cool stuff in.
Yeah, GPS, when actually it was manual attach, that was the one that really amazed me. How quickly that got turned around and released for FS22 was amazing. I think that was out within like a week of the game being released, and then GPS was not far behind. GPS was out within like about a month, I think.
That would be cool. Jay Gaming on Twitch says, I can get you into Heartland Farms in Wisconsin. They're one of the largest farms in the country. Lots of cranberries and potatoes.
Oh, wow.
That would be really cool. I'm guessing that Thefisherj is bringing me some fertilizer.
No, I think he... Oh, no, he is bringing you some fertilizer, yeah.
Cool. I never got the seeds as well. I'm guessing they're sitting over there, though.
They're sitting on the trailer as well, yeah. I'm just not doing headlands.
Cranberry spiders are such a great video. Oh, man.
Cranberry spiders. Oh.
That's probably, it's not that far from me either, I'm sure, being in Illinois. Part of the reason that we chose this location for the U.S. office is so that we could be close to states like Wisconsin and Indiana and Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, the entire Midwest, but also kind of be centrally located almost. It's like east of central U.S., but O'Hare is a pretty good airport in the senses it's easy to get flights to everywhere from there. So
I was gonna say, this is the thing, being from the UK. I don't think people here realize just how huge the States is.
No, I don't think you do.
You can drive one end of the country to the other here in a day. You know,
right?
And that is, and having been out there, you know, that is just not a thing. There are some states you can't even do that in.
In fact, there's a funny story, like I'll just tell it in brief. I'm pretty sure I've told this before on the stream. When I used to stream on my own channel, there was a guy that I got to be friends with, and he is from the UK, all right? In fact, he lived in Norwich for a while. He doesn't live there anymore. I don't think he's from there. When I knew him, he was actually like living in Cambridge. Anyways, I'm a huge football fan, or for my American soccer, and so I think because I was so into it and he wasn't, he thought I was British, even though I clearly don't have a British accent. He thought maybe like, I don't know, my parents were in the US military and for some reason I grew up in the UK, but just didn't pick up the accent. I don't really know the reasoning why, but I was talking on my stream one time about like being a kid and having to drive 4 hours to see my grandma, and he was like, where in the world does she live that you had to drive 4 hours to see her? And I was like the next state away. He was like, wait, you live in the US? I'm like, yeah, I do. And it was all based off of the fact that like I drove, you know, I said that I had to drive that far to my grandma's, and so you're right, like people don't think about you know, how far it is really to drive across the US. In fact, so my wife and I just went on vacation, okay, and we drove about 9.5 hours. We went to Dollywood, which is in Tennessee, and we drove 9.5 hours, and on that drive you pass through, we start in Illinois, you pass through Indiana, you're briefly in Ohio, and then you drive through Kentucky, and then you're finally in Tennessee after that. All right, and so some of the things that are in that area of Tennessee are similar to Branson City, which is in Missouri, and Missouri and Illinois border each other in like the southern part of it. So I was like, oh, maybe we should think about going on vacation to Branson. It might be closer, just going based off of like them being bordering states. I looked, it's about the same distance of drive. It's still about 9 hours away. Like, you just don't think about things like that. The distance. When we were at PAX East a couple of weeks back, a lot of fun, by the way. Jenny, formerly of Giants, she now has left the company to pursue other things. But it was her first time in the U.S. and like her only experience of U.S. was Boston and the surrounding area, because we drove out to the suburbs to like an IKEA to pick stuff up, and even that she was just like, I was like, what's your first opinions? And she was like, why is everything so big here? And like Boston is actually a rather small area. Like the city itself is surrounded by water on a lot of sides, and like, so there's not a whole lot of space in Boston. You could go to other places in the U.S. and feel like it's even bigger. But she was like, we were walking and there was like a massive parking lot, and she was like, you just wouldn't even see like this parking lot in Germany. Like, why is this parking lot so big? Like, why is it this massive and not being used? You just have so much space that you're not using.
You see, my only experience of the States is Las Vegas, which is probably the fakest experience I could get.
For sure.
But we did go off the strip, which was interesting. That was, yeah. And then trying to get a taxi from somewhere off the strip back onto the strip was impossible, because nobody gets a taxi anywhere other than the strip in Vegas.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. TwitchCon US is in Vegas this year. I'm guessing that we'll be there again. I don't know, like 100% sure that we'll be there, but that'll be an interesting one for sure. I did have a look. I had a look at the flights and everything, and I think I worked out, just for me to fly out there for a weekend, it was going to be something in the region of about £4,000. And I kind of went, I can't really do that. Not just the flight, but like hotels, I'm sure. Yeah. Paris might be a little bit more doable. But to be fair, Amsterdam, in my opinion, I've been to both, Hendrik. I would take Amsterdam over Vegas personally any day. I'm not a gambler, so I think that's part of it. But Vegas is also, at least Amsterdam has like hundreds of years of history. whereas Vegas is just like rather new in comparison.
I was gonna say Vegas has hundreds of years of other people's history.
Yes, exactly.
Really a description.
Yeah.
Where can you see the pyramids, the Sphinx, the Eiffel Tower, and the Arc de Triomphe all in one place?
Mrs. Kerm agrees with me on Twitch. My wife, hello, Mrs. Kerm. She says Amsterdam over Vegas all day.
Amsterdam was so much fun.
Yeah, it was fun to be there for TwitchCon. Although it was a bit strange because I don't think that it wasn't the same city as I had been at before COVID at that time. It's probably bounced back even more since then. But yeah, it just seemed strange to be in Amsterdam and like everything was closed at 9:30, 10 p.m. when we were trying to get dinner and things like that. There weren't a lot of places that we could go to. Someone, I've lost it now, but someone said that they can leave their house, drive 800 miles, and still be in Texas as well. Like,
yeah,
we're not like, yeah. You really want to put something into perspective? Texas is definitely. I've driven through Kansas like more times than I wish to, like from east to west, and that state, when you drive it east to west, just seems like it goes on forever.
Yeah, you see, so I went for my day job last week. I was up in Yorkshire, so I had to drive up to Yorkshire for the day, and that was a 6-hour drive. And yeah, I drove halfway across the country, and that was a long, that was a long drive. That was,
wow. Yeah.
I'm going a long way from where I live.
It's a long drive for a Brit, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Mr. Alan K, thank you for that raid a bit ago. Sorry, we were in conversation, so I didn't get a chance to say it when it happened, but thank you.
I do like this little Izeki, I think it is. I hadn't had a chance.
Oh,
to
can
use
we
it
tell
before.
people how before the stream?
Oh God, yeah.
Before the stream, I already talked about the issues of why we were late. So the issue was, if you missed it briefly, it was basically I had to do content before I went to PAX, before the Guvile pack was released. And so I had the QA test branch as the version of the game, and I didn't think about it because it's kind of like in the background if you don't load the launcher. If you've played it on the Giants version and you've switched at any time to the QA test branch, you'll know what I mean. I think we did that for some early access and stuff, so only some partners will know what I'm talking about. You can also roll back versions that way, so maybe you've done it for that for whatever reason. Anyways, found out I had it on the wrong version, and so before I went live, I was explaining it to Mr. Virtual Farmer here, and I was like, oh, this is what happened. I had to create content for the Guvile pack, and he was like, the what? And I was like, yeah, the Guvile pack, and he was like, oh, has that been announced now then? And he was like, oh, wait, you mean Go Wheel? Like, yes, Alex, it's called Guvile. He's like, I thought you had just leaked the new DLC there for a second. He was so excited. Guys.
In my defense, it wouldn't be the first time somebody has told me something that they possibly shouldn't have. And that I've then had to go, yes, I know nothing about this thing that's upcoming that I've been told everything about and sworn to secrecy.
Yes. So I'm one of those like really bad tourists, Farmer Kev, because we were just talking about Amsterdam. So I've only ever been to Amsterdam. I've not been to like anywhere else in the Netherlands. So I don't feel like I've fully experienced that country. And I can also say the same about the UK. I have only ever been to London. So I have not properly experienced the entire country there either. I've only gone to the biggest cities. Like I know that they're like a microcosm of the entire countries as a whole, but it's expensive to travel and there's only so much to do. But to be fair, I will visit Virtual Farmer one day in the near future and he can tour me around because I have family that live not far from him now on an Air Force base in the UK. Yeah. So I have multiple reasons to visit the area at some point.
I've got DJ and Farmer Cop think it's Farmer Cup coming
Farmer Cup.
Coming over to the UK after FarmCon. I'm going to meet up with them, which is going to be awesome. But
Michael, this isn't. Sorry, VF. Real quick, I want to answer this.
Yeah.
Michael, if you're in the Farm Sim Discord, please find me that way and send me a message, because I would love to discuss that with you and help you out. But like in the middle of this stream is not exactly the best or easiest place to coordinate something like that. So feel free to reach out to me on Discord, and I would love to talk to you about that. Oh no, DJ in the UK, Tornado says on you.
Is it? So
yeah,
talking about,
they're gonna come visit you.
They are, and talking about, you know, distances and me thinking something's a long way, and someone from America going, oh, that's not that far. Want to go and visit Clarkson's farm. Clarkson's farm shop, and I looked at it and went, oh, that's a 4-hour drive. You know, that's absolutely miles. Which, of course, to me, that's halfway across the country.
For me, that's a trip to grandma's growing up, you know, so it's wild.
Jonathan Mabry, yeah, you're absolutely right. London is in no way a microcosm of England or Britain. Yeah, I lived in London for 10 years. London is a whole separate country. Absolutely.
Yeah. But in my defense, although it's getting harder to admit this year, I am a Chelsea fan, so it was like a dream of mine to go over there and see a match. So I was only ever going to go to London my first time visiting the country. It was the first time I had ever been to Europe, and I've only ever been there now twice, and the second time was last year for TwitchCon and FarmCon. So unfortunately, kind of expensive to travel. I have a long list of places I would like to see. My wife and I really want to go visit Scotland and Ireland as well one day, and so many other places in mainland Europe. But yeah, it's impossible to cover them all.
Scotland is absolutely beautiful. I've been fishing out there for salmon about half a dozen times. So it's not the cities that I've got to stay in. It's the big country lodges that have and then you're sitting on the river on the side in the Scottish countryside, and it's just amazing. And also drinking whiskey from using the water from the source river that they make to use the whiskey is just incredible as well.
Yeah. No comment for me, but yes.
Drink responsibly. If you're
Catch me on my own channel if I stream again this year.
I even know we're endorsing that.
I would love to visit so many places, and of course, like, I know the UK community are really, wanting us as a company to get out to events across the UK. So, maybe I can even start visiting you guys over there even more if we can find cool events to go to. But to be fair, I think that they would send Chucky and Lars first, because they are in Europe already. It's a lot easier and cheaper for them to get there compared to me. So, but at least I would love to see us doing events, whether I get to go or not.
I think a lot of people would like to see Giants at. I'm gonna get the name of this wrong now because I've never been to it. Llama, I think it's, or Larma, the big agricultural show in the UK. Personally, I'd like to see Giants at the Norfolk show.
So you don't have to drive at that. So you don't have to drive a massive 2.5, 3 hours to get to an event. You live in a pretty rural area, so a long drive to you might be like getting to town.
Oh god, yeah, it's half an hour to my nearest. Well, it's half an hour to Norwich from me.
So Giants were at an event in Brighton last year, but that was like more of like a business to business event. It wasn't like a gaming convention. It was meant more for industry people to, like, it was a job fair basically. So it wasn't like a usual like community driven event like a TwitchCon or Gamescom PAX or whatever, you know. So we have done stuff in the UK, and it would be cool to see us do more and other places too. Like I know like we've got people in these chats right now from all over the world, so who knows?
It is the one thing I miss about the FSL at the moment is that, of course, we do everything remote now. But I did used to enjoy traveling around and getting to see more of Europe and you know,
right.
Going to places that I probably would have never gone to if otherwise. I mean, I don't think I'd have ever gone to Poland if I hadn't gone there with the FSL. You know, it's not somewhere that I'd considered traveling to.
Right.
And it was really nice to go there and to see somewhere, you know, a little bit different.
Yeah, traveling I think is like a really important thing. It's hard because it's hard to afford, especially traveling from here to Europe and vice versa. But if you can afford to do it, I highly recommend it. Not just for like getting to see it and experience it in person, but I think just to have the feel of like how life is different kind of puts it into perspective that really we're all just trying to make it on this giant rock we call home. And it doesn't really matter where you live. Most of us want the same things, you know. Yeah. We want peace. We want to be able to love our loved ones and family, and you know, have an enjoyable life, basically, no matter where you are in the world. So it's definitely an important thing, and I'm blessed that I get to travel because of this job, because it definitely allows me to do a lot more traveling than I ever would have been able to do on my own. Like I never would have, if you had told me just like 3 years ago that I would be visiting farms in the Midwest, I would be like, what? Why? That's crazy. But it's been really cool to see that as part of my job, to be able to get to these farms, and I hope to do more of that in the future. And then the gaming conventions as well. You know, I'd never been to PAX East before. I'd been to the other PAXs on my own, but yeah, getting to go to Boston for the first time last month was cool. So,
and I think for me it's made me more confident as well, because you know, having to go somewhere and go, right, I've got to meet up with people, but I've got to get myself there first. And I didn't quite realize how confident it had made me in that until I was sorting out my FarmCon travel this year. Because it was immediate, right, what airport do I fly to? Okay, how do I get from that airport to somewhere where most people may not actually travel to because, you know, it's not a main tourist destination.
Right.
And can I get a hotel there? How close can I get a hotel to the venue? And
right.
You know, doing all of that research and not being fazed by it, not finding it was a daunting task. Was you know, a nice realization.
XR, I would love to come to your farm one day, and then even more so than that, I want to get this pizza. I want to take the drive to this pizza shop as well. Even more so after Dave from G Portal got to experience it a couple of weeks ago and told me again how good it was. I'll put you in a gleaner and send you off to harvest. Man, you've got a lot of faith in me, XR. I'm not sure if it's warranted, my friends.
I'd be in heaven. Stuff me behind the wheel of a combine. Yes, please.
Thank you, Fisher. I bit off more than I chew trying to pull through there with these hedgerows.
I love these
Scooter's
hedgerows.
Pizza, yeah. I gotta have it, man. I've got to experience this now. Oh, I was like, are you chasing me, Fisher?
He's following in his little Massey. Oh.
Let's see if I can remember how to get back.
So these hedges are the ones that Alien Jim did.
Okay.
And they're basically trees. So they're modified trees, and you cut the post in the middle, and it takes out the whole hedge on that section.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I would mean David Brown, Kevin, if this wasn't a crossplay server and I could put the David Brown mod on here.
You've seen him driving on here. Do you trust him? Hey, there's a reason like the majority of you content creators for FarmSim have crash counters on your stream. So don't act like I'm the only one. I think I've done all right today. This is Ebony Island. That's the name of the map, right?
Yes. Yeah. And it is available on the mod.
Yeah, that's a good idea for XR to have a remote kill switch for the combine if he allows me to operate it. I don't want to say that I would, like, one time I was watching XR's stream and he had like some mod that set the combine on fire. I don't want to say that that's exactly what would happen if you let me drive your combine, but I'm not saying it wouldn't be either. Is this the shed that this was parked in?
No, the other shed with the wider door.
I was about to say, I was like, is this where it was? Because I didn't have a problem getting out. Okay, yeah, it's this one. I have faith in you. That's so kind of you, XR. You know, I would love to do that for real, like one day. I've been on farms now in Kansas and Nebraska, but and I've been in tractors and combines now, but no one has ever been crazy enough to let me take the wheel. So you may be the man for that job, XR. All right. Imagine parking the cedar in the little shed and then VF can't get it out anymore. All right, so now we're doing some mowing, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
That was one. Is it this like field right here just next to these sheds?
Yes, so it's unnumbered.
Where's the like mower and such? What am I looking for?
So I would probably grab the Vultra and drop the at least drop the bag lifter off the front of it. The mower is in that shed, yeah, where the trailer is.
Okay.
And I've got to go and get a baler.
This yellow Vultra really kind of threw me off. I was like, that looks like a Vultra.
I quite like it in the yellow. I think it looks pretty sharp. I think that's the JCB yellow.
I will say it does look good. I mean, I like JCB yellow, but I've been like the last. Wasn't it like a on Twin Cam? He has like on that map. It was a remake of a map from 19 or maybe 17 actually, before John Deere was licensed in FarmSim. So I'm pretty sure it was like a Vultra painted like it was a John Deere on that map. Maybe it was another brand, I don't remember, but
oh no, so yeah, the FS17 was when Vultra came in, wasn't it? I think.
No, I'm talking about John Deere. So it was like a, it was painted as a John Deere.
It was the one before. Yeah, I think John Deere came in with FS19, and Vultra came in with FS17. So everybody basically who was on console, who wanted the John Deere, they were painting their Vultras like John Deere's.
Yeah, gotcha. So is this the only mower you have? This Perdinger right here that is
Yes.
jammed up against the wall? Okay.
Yeah. And I want to take the John Deere and go and grab a baler.
The Vol Deer, they called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume no responsibility for this, by the way. Sorry, Voltra. It's just the way of things.
Evening, Mark Craig. Robin, I've never been to Sweden. I'd love to go to Sweden because everything I've heard about it is really lovely.
So, can we come to an agreement that you do your best to not get COVID before FarmCon this year, Alex?
I am going into isolation for 2 weeks before FarmCon.
Oh, man.
Actually, funny thing. So, I've had to renew my passport. I got acknowledgement today that they've received my old passport, so they can start processing everything. It can take up to 10 weeks to get the new passport.
Okay.
10 weeks from today is 2 days before FarmCon.
He's leaving it late, everyone. He's leaving it late.
So,
all right.
I'm
Godspeed,
hoping that
my
they
friend.
really mean up to 10 weeks, because if it takes any longer than 10 weeks, I won't have a passport to go to FarmCon, and I'm going to be really, really annoyed.
It's pretty much like in the US right now, we renewed ours a couple of years ago, like well ahead of schedule. Like we didn't really need to renew them right then because we weren't planning to do any trips. But I want to say that we did it even after I got the job because I was like, well, I know I'm going to travel to Europe at least once a year now for work. So like we went ahead and renewed them. And back then it wasn't as bad in the US as it is now. I'm pretty sure that like right now, if you want to sign up for a passport, it's pretty much like you'll get it. Who knows? Like that's the time frame right now. Like they're so behind just from like COVID layoffs and things like that. So I'm really glad that I have mine. So fair warning to any of you in the US, if you are planning to come to FarmCon and you've not thought about your passport, make sure it's going to be valid and for any country really. And if it's not going to be valid, you might want to get on that.
I mean, Mark's right. He said, you know, it takes about 2 weeks, and yeah, I know people who have got it back within a week, but it's just that whole thing of reading it and them going, it can take up to 10 weeks, and I'm going, how soon is FarmCon? So yeah,
Right.
but yeah, it rarely takes that long. I mean, I think my mother renewed it a couple of months ago, and it took like a week to do it. So I'm not too worried, and I've managed to. So I've got my brother's coming with me, so both of us are coming.
Oh, watch out, Germany.
And we've got gold tickets. I was very happy. So I thought all the gold tickets had sold out. I thought I'd miss my chance, and went on there a couple of days later, and I think some more must have been released.
Yeah, it's I think that we were kind of blown away by like how quick they disappeared. I personally, I didn't know how many we had available, but I knew that it would be super popular because it's a unique opportunity. And so a lot of people were going to be keen to take part. But yeah, they didn't last more than like 3 hours because I remember talking to FarmSim guy and he had missed out initially too. But yeah, they did come back up. Basically, there was like an introductory price for the first batch, and then we added more, and the cost is higher to get them, but at least you can get them again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, I got us both those, and I got the flights and everything, and The hotel's booked. The hotel is. I got really, really pleased with the hotel. It's about a 5-minute walk from the venue.
Cool.
And I think I got the last room in it when I booked.
Really?
Yeah. It was one of those crazy things where I went, oh, there's one room left, and I'm grabbing that right now.
That's good.
25,000. We'll go for the classic.
Are they still available?
wallet.
That's a good question, Renegade. I'm not sure if the gold tickets are still on there or not. I don't ever remember hearing that like they were all gone again, but I also was like at PAX and then on vacation for a couple of weeks. And I've been back a week and a half now, and I feel like I'm still trying to catch up on everything. No trees have been harmed during this stream yet. Indeed, not yet. There's still time. So this mower is a little bit funky at times. Like sometimes
No, it's
waiting.
It's the field that's funky.
Okay.
It's that.
Sometimes it like waits and it like dumps it all in one giant pile instead of.
Yeah. So that is a former cow pasture, and where it refuses to dump stuff is where the feeding troughs were.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's still I think it's still thinking that I can't dump grass there for some reason.
Gotcha.
Captain Leroy, yes, I saw the mud mod. It looks really interesting. Are you gonna add it? Oh, suppose we can't add it on here anyway. Are you gonna add it to your maps? Because we would use it on here, but this is crossplay, so we can't put scripts on. I keep forgetting.
Hey, Camo. Hello, everyone on YouTube and Twitch. Also on BF's channel over there. BF has put me to work. If you're just joining, I planted some sorghum.
Yep.
Or Milo, if you prefer. And then now I'm cutting some grass. How long have you been playing on this server, on this map now, Alex?
So so this is still our first year, and we're up to May. So we start in August, so August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So 10 weeks.
Okay, cool.
We had a break sort of over Christmas. We had was it over Christmas? We had our previous server developed a fault, or the save got corrupted, and so we had to move from that, and we sort of had about a month or two's break between switches.
Gotcha.
Farmulator Gaming. I have a David Brown in Farm Sim. There's actually a half decent David Brown mod out there at the moment. Which, if you want to grab it, is there is a link on my Discord in the recommender mod.
And here comes another pyramid of grass coming up. There it is. It's funny because it lets me mow like full speed as well, nearly, like, or at least double the normal speed. It made me miss this bit because of that pyramid. I can't accept this.
So I've got a question in my chat. Is my real name Alex? For that, you need to watch the FSL streams.
I'm showing your avatar on screen today. I'm calling you Alex. I'm just unveiling all kinds of secrets. The Great Pyramids of Curry.
It's amazing. It's one of those things which I've never really tried to hide.
Right.
And then we did the farming simulator tournament, or what was it called originally?
Championship.
Championship.
Is that what it was?
So we did the FSL, the Farming Simulator Championship, and the guys turned to me and went, "Oh, do you mind if you put your real name up on the stream?" And I went, "Yeah, that's fine." And so, no, I don't want my real name up on screen. I don't want anybody to know my real name. I'm kind of going, somebody's going to find out. You know, it's at some point.
I even had that same discussion as like an employee of Giants when I started streaming for the company. Like, someone was like, "Are you sure you're okay with your real name being on there?" I was like, "But like, it's not like everyone at the company is going by like a screen name anyways. Like everyone else is going by their real name." And I am fine with it. Like, I want people to know my real name because it's not a secret. Like, if you go out there and look like at LinkedIn, or you look at like Giant Software's website or whatever, like you'll probably be able to see it anyways. But yeah, I'm more than happy to have it out there.
I have enough of other social media presences and things that you don't have to look too far to find it. So yeah,
right.
I was never too concerned.
That is true too, Hendrik. Like, it's an easy to remember name. That's also like a curse, because then I forget everyone else's name, and when I meet them the first time and they remember mine, and then I see them again and they're like, "Hey, Kermit," and I'm like, "Hey, dude, what's up?"
That's what I know. Why am I not windrowing? Because the mower has a built-in windrower. I mean, it's only a single row, and it's not very, But my thought, if it creates piles, if I have a mower that creates piles like this, and I go round with the windrower, I'm just going around the field one extra time. Which is what would happen mowing, baling up this. So it doesn't actually save you any time if I get a small windrower and windrow all this up. I might as well just bale it.
So I currently don't have any more of these multiplayer streams scheduled, but that's because I had done the scheduling all the way up until right around like PAX, slightly after. So I did it for like the first 4 months of the year, basically doing like a quarter of the year at a time. Yeah. So now I've started scheduling. We have a spotlight next week, and then another couple in May as well that are on the schedule. But as of right now, no multiplayer stream is scheduled, but I do have a long list of people that I could reach out to for that. But next week we'll have Omatana on the spotlight, which is going to be a lot of fun for me because I got to meet her at FarmCon last year, but more importantly than that, I've been using her mods in FarmSim for years now. Yeah. And so it'll be cool to have her on the spotlight and be able to feature another mod creator. She does stream as well, but yeah, we haven't had quite enough modders on the spotlight. We had Ola about a month or so ago. We've had 82 Studio on before, but definitely want to get more and more modders on the spotlight this year.
Yeah, Ola's been in a couple of my map making streams and been giving me some pointers and sort of shoving me in the right direction when I need to, when my lack of map making knowledge shows.
Yeah, that's fair though. That's what I love about this community though. Like whether it's content creation or mod creation, like people are so willing to like help you out and tell you what they've learned by, like Ola has experience. You even have experience. Like your real life job is in software development, like a little bit different than creating a physical model or a map, I'm sure. But like, yeah, people are willing to share their experience and expertise and tell you like how they learned how to do things, and it's really cool to see. Are there any game dev Q&As planned? If you're talking like similar to the Platinum dev stream that we did, not exactly, but I would expect one again for the expansion coming out late in the year. It doesn't really make sense to do them for like the individual packs, unless there's something like really new and special, other than equipment coming that like is really cool to talk about. For Platinum, for example, on Silver Run, we had the new water textures and the new technology to populate the trees that exist in that map that hadn't been done before by us in a base game, or really some of it by anyone in a mod or anything. So yeah, I would expect one for that expansion. It's going to be really cool. Some cool stuff coming to it. Maybe some stuff like around FarmCon too, but I don't know exactly for sure yet or not. The problem is it's a lot easier to get people like Virtual Farmer and mod creators and content creators on these streams than it is even my colleagues, because Alex has a day job, but his content as Virtual Farmer is like another job for him, right? So he's living it almost daily. Whereas like my colleagues, they've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot more still to come. So it's tougher to find the time and schedule it, but I'm all for it. I would love to start doing more of that too. And also though, like distance is kind of a challenge for me, being one of the 2 US office employees and everyone else existing in offices in Europe. If I were able to see these people in person and do a live stream with them in person, I think it'd be easier to coordinate too.
And FarmCon, of course, gives opportunities for doing things like that. So, makes sense for things like that to be more around there anyway. Later, Robin.
You don't need it. You have a code already. Richard, I would prefer if like you gave it away like in a different way than doing it like that. I appreciate the gesture. But maybe like in someone else's stream, I'd like to see, Virtual Farmer or someone else be able to like give that back to their community more specifically than in here. All right, so we have been live for about an hour and 20 minutes. This is normally like the point where I'd start wrapping up, but because we're a little bit late getting started, I'll go over a bit. I don't know if I'll finish this field or not. In fact, I need to start going the other direction now. All right, thanks, Richard.
Yes.
The live podcasts were fun. We've talked about bringing something similar back, like at least the Q&A bit, but we stopped doing those because we started to like feel and get some feedback that maybe some of the things we talked about wouldn't stand the test of time. So like in a podcast format, you really want to be able to create content that if you listen to it tomorrow, a year from now, 5 years from now, it can still have something of value and make sense. Whereas if we're talking about like stuff coming to the game, if you listen to that, even in like 2 months, maybe it's been patched and changed. So it's a bit tougher when you're talking about stuff that is kind of more fluid and in motion when it comes to a game. Mow a bit of that field FSL style should help the stream end. So I just like miss a bunch.
No. My OCD is bad enough during an FSL stream.
You just gave Alex like a minor aneurysm,
I think. Man.
Hendrik. That was amazing. Instantly, no!
No!
Oh, man. I would do that if there was also a moat for me to throw myself in to hide from Alex once I did it. Sorry, not sorry. Oh man, too good, too good.
Oh, thanks.
Trust me, if there's anyone who wants merch available in more countries, especially the US, more than you, it's me. I'm trying. We're trying. It's not as easy as just like, you know, saying, okay, let's do it. Like, agreements have to be made that make sense for us and whoever is going to distribute it and produce it for us in these other countries. So all I can say is, like, be patient, and hopefully it'll come as soon as possible. I'm not involved in those discussions, so I'm not sure.
I've just realised my merch link has come up. Ship worldwide.
There you go. You can get VF merch right now. I have to be honest, when you told me everything that we were going to do today, I was like, there's no way we're getting that done this stream. But I think we're gonna. I was picturing an American map in my head, I think is the problem.
Yeah, no, I have a much smaller farm. My farms are much, much smaller. But it's normally because I tend to do most of my stuff solo. Even on the multiplayer server, you know, we have multiple farms, so everybody does their own farm. It's not so much. You know, I do have some help on here, but it's normally I tend to work my farm on my own. So yeah, my farm is never very big because I get on here once a week and I need to be able to manage all of that in sort of a 2-3 hour stream. So
this is going to be interesting, starting this pass where this pyramid of grass is. I think I can pull it off. You're playing on a half-scale map, Camo? That's cool.
Oh, I got stuck. There we go. That's cool.
Well, I know VF will be there. I think Derp has talked about being at FarmCon this year. Tornado.
Are we talking English specifically, or?
I think Tornado's in England somewhere.
Yeah. Trying to think. Is that thing? I try and think of British creators specifically, and I suppose I don't know if CLP is going to be there this year.
Yeah, I've not talked to him about it, whether he will or not.
I think he was talking about it at one point, but I don't know if he's still planning to go.
Derp will be there if his Jag is still alive.
Oh yeah, because Derp's driving out there, isn't he? See, that's a long way to drive.
That's just driving through Texas. It's not that bad. Probably not even. I wonder how long of a drive it will be for him.
You know what? That's not going to be more than a day. It's going to be what, 16, 17 hours maybe at most.
July 1st and 2nd at the Deutschfahr Arena in Lauingen, Germany. I just sounded exactly like I did in the video I did for the announcement.
Speaking of which, they switched up the intro video for the FSL this weekend.
Yeah.
We were talking about, you know, you're still gonna hear Kermit, you'll still be doing the intro video and everything, and then it wasn't you.
Yeah. I think that was Kenny's dad, potentially. I came up with the script and like did like the sample audio, and then I was at PAX, and so they found someone else to do it. But that's cool with me.
Yeah, no, it was more than it was. Oh, that's not Kermit.
XR, I would love to see you there, man. I'm working on a plan right now to like do something cool for English speakers that will be there. So I can't really talk about it because it's just in the early stages, and so we'll see if it ends up happening. But I would love to see people there, get to hang out with you. But it is a long way to go. We can also I definitely need to come see you on your farm in Ohio one day and go get some Scooter's pizza. All right, man, we're gonna make it. I'm just gonna pretty much call the stream after I finish mowing here, BF.
Good. And then all I need to do is get everything wrapped, which is fine because I don't normally start streaming till about now, so I've got
fair. How much longer will you be live tonight?
I will probably get all of this wrapped up and taken off the field.
Gotcha.
And I might, if I have time, roll this as well. Then it's ready for next time. And that way we can get 4 cuts of silage out of it this year and not just 3.
Dennis K, I'm not sure where you're from, but yeah, last year there were translators at least, so those there, I think they had it in French, Spanish, and English translations. This year it's gonna be a little bit different, so it might have to be basically that like there's only gonna be German and English potentially, and not those other languages, but we'll see what ends up happening. Again, I can't really say too much else because it's still just early stages at this point.
10 weeks to go. Hey, Organ Trees Gaming, welcome along. Oh, I haven't told you actually on a non-farm sim thing. What I'm doing on Monday.
Okay.
I'm throwing myself out of a plane.
Oh, really?
I've got my wife bought me a skydiving.
With a parachute, I hope.
Yes. Bought me a skydive for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
So,
okay.
Will
it be your first time?
Yeah. I have never thrown myself out of a plane before.
Okay. He has been thrown out of one before, though. That's what he's not telling us. That's cool, man. I hope you have fun.
I was planning on trying to see if I could get some footage of it and stick it up on the YouTube channel, maybe.
Yes, please do that, and please, as you're dropping from the high in the sky, shout as loud as you can, "Hello and welcome along." Amazing. Yeah, I hope you have fun. I've never done that. I've thought about doing it before, but I've never done it.
It was originally it was a plan that myself and Rainbow Dave were going to do it, and the plan was whichever one of us got to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube first, the other was going to travel to them, and we were both going to skydive. I am still a way off 100,000 subscribers, and Rainbow Dave's now over on Twitch. So
gotcha. Noref on YouTube said, "Oh no, is your wife not pleased with you?" Yeah. And then also a suggestion that you should skydive into FarmCon.
Oh God, I am not James Bond.
Yeah. Okay. All right, everyone. Thanks for putting me to work, Alex. Usually I wouldn't like to leave a job unfinished, but I'm short on time here. So, yeah. and I have full confidence that you'll be just fine without me to get the wrapping done and such. So, thanks again for having me on with you and your community on your server. Really cool thing that you're doing on this community server, and it's always nice for me to get to play a little bit more Farm Sim. So I appreciate you, man.
It has been a pleasure as always, Kermit. Thank you very much for having me on. I've enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Good catching up with you as well, and I'm sure that I'll be talking to you again very soon. All right?
Yes, absolutely.
Talk to you soon, Alex, and everyone over on his stream. Catch you next time. Have a good one. Enjoy.
Later. Bet my wife hasn't upped your life insurance. No pharmacy. So yeah, we're going to be continuing on for a while yet. I want to get this field all finished, baled, all wrapped up, and we'll see if we can get the roller on here tonight. As I said, normally I'd start streaming about this time, so I'd probably go for another hour or so. There we go. Open the stream link. Thank you, Ola. Thank you, Hendrik. Tomorrow, Richard. Well, Friday. Hardstyles Sniper 333, thank you for the follow over on Twitch. Welcome to the BFN. Thank you, Hendrik. Oh, we've only got one more road to go. So we're gonna have to, well, actually I don't know what the status is like of the nitrogen in our fields. Look at all that loam, that's absolutely fantastic. Oh wow, my scanning is really awful. Nitrogen levels on here is awful. Nitrogen level actually on our field is fine. Why is my environmental score so horrible though? Soil types. Let's see. 7, 98, 99. Hey, Pet MCG87, welcome along. Oh, that's slow. close that. Yes, you can join the server. Oh wow, that was more. Dennis McDaniel, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the VFN. I'm going to play an advert. So whenever we get a synchronize, I play an advert here on YouTube because not much is going on and it's a good time to play an advert. So yeah, this replaces, this stream tonight is replacing Saturday's stream. So we're not going to be on the community multiplayer on Saturday this week. And that's because I'm not about. So it's a little bit different. Hello, everybody coming over from the community stream. I hope you enjoyed it over there. That was a lot of fun. I always love talking to Kermit. He's a great bloke, and I've had a lot of fun chatting with him, spending time with him both on streams and on FSL and everything, and offline as well. We had a lot of fun at in Amsterdam for TwitchCon last summer. He's still on my server. Right. Let's bail that. Oh. There we go. I'm not going to run an ad that soon. There are times when I wonder what would happen had I stayed streaming on YouTube all the time and not switched over to Twitch. Because there was a time back in FS17 we were getting 200 odd people a stream over here. Right, that is our baler done. I'm going to hold on to this one until I can get the Gavale, as I've been corrected, DLC working on here. If you click on each field, get a... Okay. Oh, there we are, yeah. 50, 84, 62. Oh, that's been updated. So what's the top one? Nitrogen. Why is that low for nitrogen? My nitrogen levels are good, are they not? Yeah, that's weird. Right, we gotta get these bales racked. And collected. It's over there. Yeah. Private new equipment. Hubs and hoses getting another new piece of scrap. Okay, cool. I know what should be in that shed. That is this. So Gonna put the mower in front of the baler for now. Actually, I'll put the mower in the other shed. I need to drive through to park up that trailer. Yeah, I need to get it working on here because at the moment it's not. And I don't know why. Jesse, do you want to grab the little tractor and start baling up? Wrapping the bales. I unload this bag. Oh, actually, I do want that and that. Yeah, I like the DLC. It's a nice DLC, which is why I've tried to enable it on the server a couple of times, and it's just not appearing for whatever reason. I mean, as far as I can tell, it's enabled. So I'll give G-Portal a shout and go, hey, I'm trying to use my DLC on here, and it's not appearing. The other thing is I might do a quick rebuild. I just love the fact that I can create TMR bales. Those were awesome. Those were really, really cool to feed the cows with when we made the move. Spikes over here. My quick care. Oh, TMR bales. Just tipping the strip on the ground. Yeah, which makes sense. A little bit. There. So you bale spike for wrap bales. It's one of those things, Scott, where I've been told in here by real farmers they use bale spikes for this, and what they do is they spike the bales to pick them up, and they then put it. They then stick a piece of duct tape or something like that over the spike hole to seal it back up, and it's fine. The Porsche 108 diesel. Oh, nice, Mark. Ooh, I'll have to check that out. Oh. This is why I'm not a huge fan of doing bales on multiplayer servers, because it can be a little bit laggy, and when it's laggy, you can end up just going mad with stuff. Whoa, 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 slow down. Hold your horses. Gareth. Release on my, should definitely strap those onto the trailer before you ram into them. Yes. With farms in bale physics, it's probably wise to do that anyway. Oh, especially as... How many more bales can I fit on this? Another 5? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Maybe 6 if I go high enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah. We've got more bales than we can fit on the trailer. So we'll have to stack the rest. Thankfully, we don't need the flatbed again for a while. The alternative is to shove them in the back of the Stuart trailer, or to grab another one of these flatbeds. I think any of our... No, none of our fields are nearing ready. Just trying to work out... Yeah, so June is actually a fairly good month for me to not worry about being able to get on the server for. Because there are no crops ready to harvest. All of our crops are already fully fertilized. The only thing we have is possibly selling off this. So as a result, we will probably... Yeah, so we've got this stream today, and then a week on Saturday we'll be back on here again. We should be back to a more normal stream schedule next week, I think. So I'm very tempted to if we're not doing Sons of the Forest next week, then I will I might do a mapping stream on the Friday. Collect them up. How many does that leave? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bales we're left with. I can probably fit one more on the top of here, possibly 2. Should leave me with 3 bales, which is not bad actually. 3 bales I could handle. Okay. Like to have the money to buy those 2 fields. What's in those 2 fields next to us here? Oh, those are grass fields, are they? Yeah, so it's grass fields all around us here. Considering we don't have any animals. Yeah, I think I'd buy both those grass fields and convert them into a single field. If I can. How much are those? Actually. 67. So 107,000 we'd need from this year's crops to buy those 2 grass fields and convert them into a single arable field, I think. Here we go. Oh, that that lag is awesome. Bring that alongside and then we can stack on top. last two. Good place to stack the bales, that is. No depth perception at all. Yeah, I think that basically sits out of the way there, Jesse, doesn't it? My next question is, can I get the rest of them underneath the back of that shed there and come through? Find out in a moment. Ooh. Close, and just push that on. There we go, nicely stacked. And then hook that back up there. And we're done. Oh no, it's not gonna fit. Uh-oh. Need to get that to go round that corner. It's only marginally too high. That's the most annoying thing about that. Yeah, nobody watching. It's fine. Can I get around the end of the house? Yes. Yes, I can. Hopefully. Yeah. Around the back of the house there. Around the back of that shed. And we're all good. Oh. I think we'll just park these alongside here. Like so. Right, I think that is good. We've done about 2 hours, so oh, actually no, there is one job I want to do. I don't think we have any rollers though. Do we have any rollers for grass? I don't think we had any grass rollers. I might need to go lease some grassland care. No, we don't. Right, so I'm gonna have to lease that. Yes. Good. And we'll go grab it with the John Deere. But this will give us more money towards, or will give us a growth stage in the grass. We also have actually another grass field to cut. 151 needs cutting. I completely forgot about that field. That one's a lot more expensive, Culture. I could cut that field. We actually have time tonight if I want to cut 151. Cheaper and bigger, is it? Oh, it is. Huh. Yeah, but it works for grass. They actually sorted that. Because yeah. I might upgrade my rollers this year then. We'll go with this one for now because I've grabbed it and we can return it later. Jesse, do you want to stick the mower on the back of the Vulture and start cutting that field? And we'll get 151 knocked out tonight as well. While I'm rolling this. Ah, they removed the mulching part of it. Makes sense. Don't know if you guys saw, but I switched the case on my Throne wishlist today. There's the Cherry Tree do a nice Star Trek one, not the Borg one. I figured £250 for or $250 for a case was a bit much, but for a lot less they do a nice Star Trek highlighted one, which also has big glass side that you can see all the internals and everything. Look really nice, so I put that on my wish list today. because I thought, oh, if I'm gonna build cakes, I'm gonna build a Star Trek one. Why not? I was just thinking, I'm not going to need to sell the bales before we start on the harvest, but yes, I am, because we've got to hire the combine. We've got to lease the combine. We may not lease as big and expensive a combine as we did this year. Which one did we get last year? We grabbed one of these. Yeah, it was one of those, wasn't it? I think this year I might go for something like one of these. A lot less money. Yeah, that. Or maybe one of these. That's still, it's only 4. That's a lot smaller. How big is this? These aren't as big as I thought they were. That doesn't have a huge amount more actually. That can have a much bigger. Alternatively, we got the older class. Wow, really? That has 6,500 litre capacity. Yeah, we might go for one of the older classes then, to be honest, because they're not that expensive and have a fairly decent grain capacity and are like half the price. Love the interior of this tractor. Still think this this shape of John Deere is one of the nicest shapes they've ever done. Very classic shape. The best field this year, nothing wrong with my PC, but a close friend of mine can't really afford a gaming PC for her son for Christmas. I intend on giving my current setup to him. Oh, that's nice, Foxball. Yeah, so my current streaming PC, I intend to give to my son. It's got a 1650 in it. Yes, the processor's is about 10 years old, but for things like Minecraft and things like that he's planning on playing, I think it would be fine. Yeah. And then my current gaming PC, the one I'm on at the moment, with its 2080, that'd become my streaming PC. And then my my 10 and then the new one I would make that a that be my main gaming and productivity PC. And it's really, you know what? It's really interesting. I don't know if it's not a problem with my connection problems and everything. I don't know if that's not a problem with my with streaming and recording and encoding, because tonight we've not dropped a single frame. Oh, we need to unfold. There we go. Yeah, but it's interesting. Normally it's my a case of when I'm not, but that would suggest that Twitch is the problem, and I don't think Twitch is the problem. I think it's a processing stroke load issue. Oh, yeah, we can. Because the interesting thing about that is that was a lot of lag, but YouTube and the connection on the streaming PC has not even stuttered. Admittedly, we've been streaming for 2 hours when I wouldn't normally be streaming, but Giant's Twitch and you at the same time, and I'm tethering from my mobile phone. Yeah. It's possible the connection's just better tonight, because that does happen. Straighter now. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, this is... you know what? I said it hasn't even stuttered, and then I get a red light on OBS. I went and jinxed it. Wow. It is currently just playing up like mad. There we go. Just because I'm trying to reverse into the corner. It'd be easier when I'm not having to be so exact in the corners. Back it up. Right, there we go. I think we'll go around 3 times. No, so Voxball with precision farming on, rolling it, what it does is sorts out a growth stage. So we've gone from harvested to a couple of stages of growth just by rolling it. What it does is, well, what it means is that you can then get an extra cut out of it every year if you go and roll it after you've cut it. So it's well worth doing because it can increase your income by quite a large factor. Yeah, it speeds up the process. Down another gear. Yeah. Yeah, it skips the first growth stage basically. Near 2 on my current side, trying to slurry as much grass as I can, saving the manure for year 3. I should got enough. Oh, come on. On we go. I'm having to try and guess this a little bit. Here we go. Oh, it won't quite do it. Damn. I'll have to come back and do the really thin slither that I'm going to leave. There we go. Basically getting 2 streams worth of work done this stream, I think. We would have got the seeding and the rolling done this time, and then we'd have done this next month otherwise. So I'm actually quite happy. We're nicely ahead. I don't need to worry about things too much. Cool, Jesse. If you're done cutting that, could you start baling it up? I'm probably going to have to move that trailer out of the way because we're going to want to stack the bales that we wrap off there. We go straight down the middle of this. Divide it in half and hopefully easy enough to do. There we go. actually got it right this time. Look at that. That is exactly spot on. Missing just the tiniest of bits. Don't know if this side is as good. Yeah, it is. Although I missed a bit there, but that's all right. We can come back and grab that thin strip there, and grab that bit up the top, and then that's this field done, and I can start going and wrapping bales on 151. Right, will this fit in this shed? Yeah. Park this up and we'll go and use the little tractor for this. Partly because this tractor is gonna need repairs soon. Oh god, this tractor also needs repairs. follow Jesse around the field now. Stephen Shade, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the VFN. Bring it around. Away. Oh, your back's still open, Jesse. Yep. You still got the bail open. I do that all the time. There we go. Back off. Get out of your way while that wraps. Keep it out of the way. Sit here for a minute and wait for the bell to pop out. Yeah. What? Quite like grass work. Grass work is nice and nice and calming. But I want to stay out of the way. Actually. It's a beeping again. Nice and efficient. I did consider transporting these out of the field, but I wasn't 100% sure I'd be able to actually get them out of the field with this next to it here, so decided not to try it. And will we get one more bale out of here? Maybe. There's actually more grass here than I realise. That's 3 rows and it's not full, so yeah, one more bale I think, and then a bit in the a bit left over in the baler. which will get mixed in with the wheat straw in a couple of months' time. There we go. Get out the way and unload it. I think that must be it. I mean, I can't be surprised, and there might be another bale there, but I reckon it's doing about 25 to 33% a row. Yeah, that is done and dusted. Right. Let's get this repaired while we're here. There we go. Expensive repair. Then we'll move the trailer out of the way because we're going to want to stack these bales at the end of that barn. That. Get this as straight as possible. Oh my lord. Dolly trailers. Yeah, that's heading to the wall. Why does it want to keep migrating towards that wall? That's ridiculous. Yeah, again, it's migrated towards that side. Yeah, that's better. Line it up straight. That'll do. Okay. If you start rolling the field, Jesse's, I'll get the bales collected up. If that's all right. Depth perception failing me again. That. Bring it across. Go, got it. I can get 2 on top of that as well. And get this one out of the way. The edge one's next. I'll take that one and then he can... Whoa! Okay. Hey, Rolly Christie, welcome along. How many more do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah. Smaller field than the other one. Whoa. Ow. Yeah, and what? Get round and down. Oh, good. Just about. So yeah, 5 more bales will go along the bottom here. Got it. Nicely done. Come on, down. Right, and then just one more bale to grab. And that'll be that. This field finished as well, which I'm really pleased about. That's a huge amount of work we got done tonight. In how long were we going for? 3 hours. I'm quite pleased. Between Kermit and Jesse's, we've got all of this done, which is fantastic. And it does mean that there's no work to be done on the farm next month, because all of our fields are fertilized. Well, the grass fields aren't, but that's less of a worry. And oh, I know what we have got, which we can't do, which we kind of need to and haven't. I bet our weed problem is really bad. I'm only on 40. But we are going to have to weed those. Yeah, because that had to be ploughed, that had to be ploughed, and that had to be ploughed. So we're going to have weeds down there, and we've got weeds down there. Is that last month slow? So we're probably going to have to grab a hoe and get that sorted. Completely forgot about that. But that is not a job for today. Right. Because it is 10 past 10 and we're going to go home for 3 hours, so I am going to call it there. There we are. Cool. So that's perfect. I'm very, very happy with that. Interestingly, the server has lost a couple of minutes, so we're just going to synchronize that again. Take it up to 10 past. There we go. So server is back in sync. Save that. Right. And I'm going to leave this here. So that's been a good evening. I've had fun on the multiplayer server tonight with Kermit. Thank you to him for inviting me along to the community spotlight stream and the community channel. That was awesome. I will be back on Friday night over on Twitch. We are going to be doing the realism experiment over there, so come join us for that. We'll be on the Oaks, sorry. No community stream on Saturday night. As I said, I'm away this weekend, and this is instead of. So yeah, no community stream this Saturday. Video tomorrow will be Attingham Park, so go check that out. We are working our way towards Field 13 and getting all the money together for that. So check that out from 3 p.m. tomorrow. As always, massive thank you to you all for watching. A huge thank you as well to all my patrons and channel members. You guys help this channel in immeasurable ways to grow, and I wouldn't be able to do this without your kind contribution, so thank you very much for that. I hope you have all enjoyed this live stream. Give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.